Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we're going to do a quick little video on assembling my Shortbed C10 frame. Just a recap, if you've just checked into the channel now, I'm actually restoring a 79 Chevy C10, which was formerly a long box, but unfortunately was rotted. And now I've rebuilding an 84 short box frame and building it from the ground up. So if you checked out the last video, you saw that we painted the frame with POR 15, and I'm really happy with how it came out. As you can see, it's nice, it's strong. I'm going to do a touch-up probably before the cab and the box go on, just because I'm sure it's going to get scuffed up during reassembly here. Here are all the frame components laid out for you. Some stuff is new, some stuff is what I'm reusing and just sanded and painted. Here are the rear cab mounts. I'm reusing those. Here are the front rad supports. Those are the original, sanded down, painted, reusing. This is new. This is from Russ Bros, company out in Ohio. This is the center rear frame reinforcement, as well as the two brackets for it that mount it to the frame. Those are new. Original E-spring bracket. This is a original cab mount. This is the front right, if I remember correctly. Here is the front left, which is new from Russ Bros. Here is the right rear leaf spring bracket and the left rear leaf spring bracket. And finally, this is a cross member that mounts both rear cab corners to each other. I waited a long time to get to this point. Everything's been a lot of sanding and grinding and a lot of the dirty work. Finally, some more of the fun, satisfying work, which is assembling the frame with all new, fresh components, or at least the old, refurbished, cleaned up components. I also got brand new mounting hardware, grade A stuff, with locking nuts for all the mounts here, because if you're familiar with these trucks, everything's actually riveted on, so I had to cut and grind and chisel it all off, but in its place, everything's getting grade A hardware with locking nuts. Because I removed all these in a unorganized order, it never really mattered. The idea was everything was being sanded down anyway, so, you know, for example, the cab mounts came out last, but the leaf spring brackets came out like a month before, so there's no exact order as to putting this all together. But I'm going to start with the center rear cross member here, because this is going to add the most structure. And then from there, probably work my way from the back, starting with the leaf spring mounts, and then working my way forward to cab mounts and rad support. Without further ado, let's hit the time lapse, hit the music, and let's assemble this frame. So here's the center rear cross member installed. As you can see, I really like the look with the hardware and everything like that. Took about 4 passes going in a circular motion to ensure that everything is sitting properly and everything's nice and straight, because this component is structural. So in order to align these holes with this side holes, kind of have to wiggle it around a little bit, but I'm quite happy with how this came out. Next component to install is the right rear leaf spring to frame bracket. Check that out, wow. It's starting to look like an actual truck really, right? Not really. But this is one step closer for this frame becoming complete. Next up, we have the rear front, I guess, leaf spring bracket right here, which bolts up to something like that. Check out how close the bolt clearance is here, but it looks like I just cleared it, maybe by like a millimeter or two. Up here it's a little bit better, but down here, it's probably the thickness of a couple of pieces of paper, maybe 2-3 mil gap between this crossmember bolt and the leaf spring bracket bolt. Should be good enough. It's time for the other side leaf spring bracket. Time for the right rear cab mount. This one is mounted inside the slot of the frame, and the cab will sit on top of it as such. another $75 of bolts, and we finally have enough to finish the frame. I miscounted. I counted 30, but unfortunately that only served one side. I forgot you had to times it by 2, but oh well. Let's get to it. Next up is the right rear cab mount. So next I'm mocking up the crossmember that goes between both rear cab mounts. Now if my memory serves me right, I believe it's facing the back side because there's holes on both ends of the cab mount. I'm pretty sure this crossmember, if I remember correctly, was attached to the back of the vehicle, which happens to be this side. Next is the front right cab corner, right here. This bolts up to just about right over here. Let's get it nut on here to hold that. Let's hit the time lapse now and get these bolts on in a few seconds rather than 5-10 minutes. Alright, here we are. Front left cab mount. This one's new from Rust Bros. It sits roughly something like that. Alright folks, we're almost done here. We're on to the front right rad support bracket. This slides in like such. If we can get the holes to line up. There we go. Got a couple of the nuts on here. This is so exciting. We're down to the last mount. This is the front left rad support. Once this is in, the C10 frame is completely assembled. Obviously with the exceptions of diffs, steering, suspension, the whole front end, but the frame's assembled. So this is a huge moment. Let's dive into it together. Check this out. Wow, the frame is assembled. All the mounts are on, all the cross members are on. Look at that. This thing looks great. All that months, 2-3 months of work, sanding, welding, painting, assembling. This took so long, but to see this all come together, it's truly, truly rewarding. This is what it's all about right here. Anyway, this concludes this series of the mean green build. We have the frame assembled now, and the next part is rear differential and rear suspension, and then we'll be working our way to the front engine cradle and front suspension. That'll be the next couple steps, so please check back again soon for the next video on our 79 C10 here, aka mean green, and hopefully we'll be driving this thing before summer ends. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.